To scale your brand as fast as possible, you do not need to spend any more money on ads on Mr. Zuckerberg. In 2025, the top brands are slowly realizing that the fastest and cheapest way to achieve these kinds of results is to use email marketing and go all in. This is what I do for a living, link in description for guaranteed results. But welcome to the first episode of How to Scale Your Brand Fast, where I basically show you the backup system of the top 1% of brands, the smartest brands, after simplifying it by taking off all of the complicated parts of email marketing, so you can basically copy and paste it for yourself and see results as fast as possible in less than 60 days. And today on the menu, we have the supplement brand Lemme.
Hi.
What on earth did you just send me?
It's Lemme Play.
By Kourtney Kardashian. They have a net worth of $50 million, and a big chunk of that comes from email marketing. As an expert, I can easily see that a good 30% have to come from emails, so around 15 million. They have a stunning backup system, even though there's a couple of fixes I want to speak about towards the end, but we are here to scale as fast as possible. So I will guarantee you a good 20% by doing 4 easy fixes, and obviously it starts with the sign-up form, also known as the pop-up form. When it comes to Lemme, instead of doing the common mistake of leaving it in the bottom of their website, they decided to make this appear in front of your face after a good 4 to 5 seconds. Long story short, they're giving their new customers a 10% off discount just in exchange of their emails, right? One thing I would fix to help conversions is, instead of having this clear X that people will just jump on it the moment it appears, I will take it off completely or make it the same color as the background, so it's basically almost invisible. Also, another thing is, I would not overwhelm the customer with multiple text here. I'll try to make the title, the offer, as clear and as loud as possible. So I might take this off or leave it at the complete bottom here. And also, one last thing, instead of saying continue, I'm fully aware that people nowadays have a TikTok brain, which means that they have a low attention span and they are very lazy. So continue indicates that there's another step coming, and this will definitely hurt conversions. So instead of continue, I would put unlock now. But after pressing on continue, Lemme decided to finish it off by grabbing their SMS, so they can do both email and SMS marketing, which is a genius strategy. But you guys get the point. Lemme did a great job. Do not overcomplicate it. If you struggle to create one, it's fine. It takes 2 seconds on amped.com. You can do quiz. Quiz is something that people really like. It's high converting because it's interactive, right? For example, if you have a skincare brand, you can ask if their skin feels oily, dry, or a combination, or balance, whatever. But you can basically ask questions to create a stronger bond with your new customer, just so they can feel that you're the perfect person to help them. A good sign-up form typically appears after a good 4 to 5 seconds. It converts around 5 to 10% of the total traffic, or even more. And yes, it's so important, simply because the bigger your list, the bigger your revenue. It's as simple as that. And the more you save on ads, so the less you depend on ads. And if, let's say, ads, Mark Zuckerberg decides to shut down ads, you'll be good to go, because you will still find a way to market your product to the right people. And once again, we're speaking about emails, so it's so cheap. Now, before we continue, an obvious and easy way to scale your brand as fast as possible with emails is simply to do better emails, guys. You basically need to give them a reason to open your emails so they can receive your discounts, and also to stay on top of their mind. Let's change the background. But this is a transformation we've made in one of the past videos. This is what the brand Arc'teryx is currently sending to their customers, but instead of this bland, boring email that will eventually make people unsubscribe, this is the transformation we've made that is exactly what they're looking for. So take a quick look. This is a GIF, by the way, so it's multiple images, social proof here, and a wonderful footer. But let's get back in Lemme and attack the second fix, easy fix, which is the welcome flow. Let's secure a good 5% here every single month. But before creating the welcome flow, the most important automation you will ever need when it comes to your email system, you need to have a good grip of what your mission is, and second of all, who are you targeting? And when it comes to Lemme's mission, their goal is to make wellness fun and easy for women, with obviously clean, science-backed supplements that not only build trust but also inspire healthy habits. And when it comes to their target audience, it's pretty obvious. It's beautiful ladies who love to shop and complain on their husbands and boyfriends. Sorry, ladies, I had to say it. But once you have a good grip of your mission and target audience, you can finally attack the one automation called the welcome flow. And when it comes to the welcome email number 1, the first email right after taking their discount, obviously they're going to receive this first automation that's going to basically give it to them so they can copy and paste it on your website. Keep in mind, this is the email that's going to get the most amount of traffic. Okay, so this is, when it comes to email number one, this is how people are viewing your store. It's a bunch of people waiting to grab their discounts and immediately shop for your bestsellers. So when it comes to Lemme, this is pretty much how it looks. They decided to have Meet Lemme as a subject line. You guys, if you sell honey, for example, you can say something around welcome to the hive. This is a great way to start. Or if you're selling some outdoor clothing, you can say welcome to the adventure, welcome to whatever, but anything tied to your mission, right? This is how it looks like. They've done a great job. Take a quick look, guys. By the way, leave a like and subscribe. And also, if you want me to scale your brand in less than 60 days, guaranteed, link is in the description. They did a great job. So when it comes to email number one, the first thing you want on top is just to give them the discount. This is the main reason why they're here. So might as well make it as big and clear. They could have made it bigger in my opinion here. And also when it comes to the CTA, do not make the mistake to make it low. So the shop now, make it as big and as clear once again, because you do not want them to scroll all the way down and hurt your conversions. And now right after giving the discount, I encourage you guys to put your best sellers. For example, in their case, they decided to show their gummies, capsules and tinctures, but you guys can just put the products that drive the most amount of sales, give a brief description of it, or you could also put like a testimonials just to create some kind of social proof and encourage them, just to basically show them that other people like that specific product and how it helped them. Right after that, they decided to show what makes them different. So guys, find something specific about your brand that differentiates you from your competitors and put it here. For example, when it comes to them, it's gluten-free, there's no artificial sweeteners. To me, that's a little basic. They could have found something more unique about them, but you guys get the point. Find something that makes you stand out. And they decided to wrap everything up, obviously, with a quick message from the founder, Courtney. In this case, I prefer to speak about the mission, to wrap everything up with a mission, but this is good enough. I'm just a perfectionist. You guys they could have just put a hashtag everything is backed by science. I don't know, if you're saving trees, for example, hashtag we're saving trees, just to remind people every single time that this is the main mission and they're not only buying a product, they're being part of a movement. To finish everything, they decided to have a beautiful footer just to bring people back into the store. This is a very important section. Is very important to have one, because very often in certain emails, for some reason, the footer is the one that gets the most amount of clicks. So always find a way to bring people back into your store. They've done it perfectly. So Shock Products, the proof, and our story. This is a great way to leave a strong first impression with the first email. And the KPIs you can expect, the KPIs you should aim for is a 60% plus open rate, 15% click rate, and 7 to 8% place order. And now a day later, I want you to send a second email, the second email where you're going to basically explain what your mission is and go deeper with it. So when it comes to Lemme, this is what they did. Subject line, the heart of our mission. Take a quick look. By the way, this whole presentation is in the description, so you guys can just go grab it and just copy and paste it. But there you go. This is how it pretty much looks like. And they decided to start everything with the reminder of the discount, which is a genius strategy. The only thing they could have done better is maybe play a little bit more with the fear of missing out. For example, in this case, I would have said something around only 7 days left before the code expires, just to remind people and put in their mind that this code will eventually leave, and create some kind of urgency to push them to take action. But they did a great job. CTA is high and clear. A quick message from the founder over here, and something about the mission. The only thing I would criticize them when it comes to this is that since the email is about the mission, we can clearly see that the subject line is the heart of our mission. It would be more logical for them to switch place with the message from the founder, the message from Courtney, and this specific section. After that, the bestsellers. There you go. And what makes them so special? So Lemme burn, Lemme the bloat, Lemme purr, and their benefits. So do the same thing with your product. And they decide to finish everything with better yet. I do not know what that means specifically, but there's a deal that they have where they can pick 3 products and save 20% on each other, which is great. But since is something pretty important, they should have maybe put it as higher. You know, like the most important things, always put it as high as possible. And when it comes to the KPIs for the email number 2 to 5, because when it comes to the welcome email, they only have 5 of them, you can expect a 40% open rate, the 3 to 5% click rate, and 0.5 place order rate. We can see there's a significant difference with the first one, and it's totally normal simply because this one is the one who gets the most amount of traffic. So do not be scared if you see your open rates drop a little bit. Same thing with your place order and click rate. Now, email number 3 is going to appear 2 days later. And as you can see, guys, as you probably noticed, they keep sending emails back to back because they understand the fact that the new customers gave them their email because there's already some kind of love that they have for them. There's some kind of interest, but the only thing that they need is to be nurtured to eventually make a purchase. And right now is a special moment simply because they have all of their attention. So let's strike now. This is the best moment to strike. If the third email was sent a week later, for example, it would be damn near impossible for them to build that strong relationship by tackling their objections and eventually build trust. So email number 3, 2 days later, PSA, your supplements should be science backed. Now let's take a quick look. There you go. As you can see, it's very educational because they understand that you cannot get sales without trust and you cannot get trust without education, right? So in other words, if you want a healthy plant, you need a little bit of sun and a little bit of water. They did a great job here. In your welcome email, you want to always remind them of the 10% discount or whatever offer that you have. Always remind them. They kept it on the top of the email, which is a great thing. But overall, when it comes to the third email, it's like a joker card. You guys can do pretty much anything that can be educational. You can teach them how to use your product. You can do something where you can just tackle objections. You can do a Q&A. You can do pretty much anything. The goal here is just to educate them and strengthen the relationship that you're having with this new customer. In the third email, they show pretty much how eco-friendly it is. And when it comes to the fourth email, which is 2 days later, subject line, long story short, this works wonder. They decided to go all in when it comes to their bestsellers. The email right before it, which is the third one, was very educational, so they decided to go all in, and it's a fair take. It's a fair way to move. Once again, everything is about balance. Now let's take a quick look at it. And to me, this email is the definition of perfection. This is what a strong email designs look like. There you go. And obviously they started with the reminder of the 10% discount on top of it. Right after it, logo, a strong title. Want to play favorites? Be our guest. This is a punchy way to start an email. And obviously the CTA right under it. They could have made it bigger. But I love the way that they didn't just say shop now, they say see our faves. In general, what makes this email so great is the fact that not only the designs are solid and stands out, but the copy also stand out. Like, as you can see, they really know how to make them feel special by talking to them basically like a friend. And it's little details like that that's going to have the most amount of impact in your revenue and conversions in general. So don't be scared to be yourself. They chose you for a reason. If your brand swears, use the F word. If your brand, let's say, has a controversial opinion, double down on it, because this is what brought them there in the first place, and it's going to be the glue that's going to make them fully attached to your brand forever. So when it comes to supplements, they're always going to basically choose Lemme. It's little details like that that's going to create that strong relationship that people nowadays crave, and it's going to be easier to make sales. Right after this, immediately they striked with the bestsellers on top of heavy testimonials. I want you guys to do basically the same thing when it comes to the fourth email, when it comes to the very salesy email that you guys choose to do. This design is perfect, and this combination is a no-brainer. In other words, this combination is just going to work. Quick tip when it comes to testimonials: always choose the one that shows a transformation. If there's also a way to put some images of a before and after transformation, put it there, because it's in human nature to love transformations. We love stories. We love especially stories that shows a result that we can achieve. For example, with Lemme Burn, this product that speaks about losing weight, they could have shown a before and after picture of someone that used their product and lost weight. Same thing with this one and this one. I'm currently doing it with a brand that I'm working with, and the results are just insane. It's out of this world. So find a pain point and show a transformation. That's it. When it comes to the last email of their welcome flow, 3 days later, subject line, just a friendly reminder. Let's take a quick look at it, guys. There you go. There you go. And when it comes to the last email, the number one goal and intention is urgency. You have to mention, you have to tell them that basically this is their last chance for using this 10% discount, or they will have to pay full price. Lemme did a great job here. Do not wait on wellness. You've still got 10% off, but not for long. Use code TRYLEMME10 before it's gone. Wonderful. There's nothing to say. Right after this, obviously, is going to be the best sellers. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's often the best sellers that you will have to put, but with a different design. So you basically recycle the same thing, but you make it appear as different. And that's it when it comes to Lemme's welcome flow. But one thing they could do to improve it and make even more sales is to do a last call. When it comes to the 6th email, they could do a last call. This is an email design they've made for New Year's. They could redesign it to basically tell their customer on the 6th one that they have 24 hours to make a purchase. This code will only last 24 hours now because you're basically on the last day. This honey brand did it well. This is a great example. So last chance, 15% off. The code here and a little bit of testimonials. This is a gift, by the way, so it's multiple testimonials here. And they can also take it a step further by sending a personal note from the founder. In this case, it's going to be Courtney, and this note is basically going to tell them, hey, I noticed you haven't placed your order yet, and that's totally okay. I just wanted to check in and see if everything's all right, or if you had any questions about us. I'm always open to feedback too. If life just got busy, no worries. I brought your 15% welcome code back for one more day since you're new to the family. In this case, it's obviously going to be 10%, but this is that personal and human touch that people crave nowadays. And this is not a fancy email with all kinds of designs. This is literally us, the owner, speaking directly to their customer like a friend. And also in this case, using a custom code would be genius and would even boost conversions. So guys, this email converts like crazy. This is why I think it's almost mandatory for brands nowadays to use it. Go grab this whole presentation and copy and paste it, and you'll see results by tomorrow. Now that we have the second easy step out of the way, easy simply because you do it once and you're good to go for life. This automation is forever going to feed you and give you a great long-lasting impression for your new customers. Let's go with the third easy fix, which is the cart and abandon checkout automation, which will add you an extra 4 to 8% of revenue every single month. Most brands only have the checkout one, and when it comes to Lemme, they do not have one. Cart and checkout, and it's so easy to simply remind your customer that they left something behind. So for example, let's say Sabrina, there's someone named Sabrina that took one of Lemme's supplement, put it in her cart, and eventually gets distracted by her dog and forget to make the purchase. She will never ever get an automation like this one from Fabletics, man, that will simply remind her to make that purchase. If you want an easy automated 4 to 8% of extra revenue every single month, I've made a video on how to create this right there. And guys, I know that I said 20%, but it's a little bit more than that, because with the fourth and last easy fix, which is the email campaigns, you can add an extra 15% of revenue, which is massive. By sending to your 60 or 90 days engaged list manually 3 times a week, you can secure this amount of revenue, which is insane. And it's logical because by doing it, you're simply staying top of mind. And people, when their product finish, a lot of them, they do not want to try your competitors. They just want to come back to you. And Lemme and all the big brands really understand that, and this is why they send 3 emails every single week. This is what they sent for New Year's 2025. There you go. It's pretty simple and straight to the point. This is a new product launch for the ones who are already fans of Lemme, and encourage them to buy even more. You can do Q&A, you can speak about all kinds of subjects. If you struggle with email campaign ideas other than discounts, because some brands sometimes fall in the trap of always giving discounts, which is a huge mistake because you're always digging into your margins, and people at some point are just going to figure out that you're often giving discounts, and at some point they will never buy it at full price. So watch out when it comes to discounts. And yes, I have a free ebook where I give you more than 70 email ideas. It's actually more than 100. It's in the description. And lastly, here's the other fixes that Lemme can do to improve their revenue with email marketing. I've noticed that their email campaigns, the email that they send 3 times a week, are way too salesy, and at some point it becomes pretty much predictable. They need to nurture more and calm down a little bit on flash sales. They have great ideas, but don't leverage it on big days like Valentine's, St. Patrick, Mother's Day. For example, this is what they sent on Mother's Day. Basically nothing related to the event, and this is what they sent for Valentine's Day, so pretty much the same mistake, nothing related to the event. The other fixes is to put an abandoned cart and checkout email at least. Make sure we can see a pop-up form on desktop. I think there's some kind of technical mistake where we can only see a sign-up form on mobile, because the one I've shown on this video only came from mobile. I tried it on the desktop and couldn't get anything. And more message from the founder, more message from Courtney. Use custom codes to make it more personal. So instead of saying of using try Lemme 10, maybe a code like a completely random code should be better, because it's going to make people feel as if they got something special, something unique, right? If you want to add an extra 25 to 30% on top of your revenue every single month, book a quick call in the description. I'll strategize something for your brand specifically and make sure it's a hit. It's guaranteed, or you do not pay. This is how confident I am. I'll be your right hand man. I've done it multiple times and helped brands go from 0 to hero. So brands that barely had anything into something that not only rely on ads, but see the potential of it and keep growing through it. Besides that, I hope this video was very insightful. This is actually how the top brands, the smartest brands, scale their brand as fast as possible. They understand that ads can only help them so far, and that the price of ads will consistently increase. So welcome to hope, welcome to something that will actually grow your brand, and see you on the next episode, where I will show you how another brand scale as fast as possible. Now go grab this full presentation. Steve here, and bye-bye.